if you remember, this whole process started in 2013 when we did a master plan, and that study said there are really 5 things that this community is, through all of the rounds of feedback, the things we're hearing most are: we need more youth services space, we need more space for collaboration and for people to gather together to work and study and learn. We need a larger room for activities like the multi-purpose room, where sometimes we have crowds of 900 people coming together. We need more parking. If we're going to add all of these entities, we need more parking. And then we need a genealogy center. It's one of the fastest growing hobbies in America, and we need a dedicated space for that. So as we began doing our analysis, began looking at some of the model libraries around the world about how they're solving problems, we began thinking in larger scope in terms of areas like our maker space. We realized we needed a small maker space, but then all of a sudden we saw what could be done at some of the libraries we toured, and we realized this community deserves an innovation center that's worthy of what all we're going to be able to put in there, and it meets all their desires. And then we always were interested in a food element. Our Segas does a good job up at the front of the library, providing beverages and light snacks, but we wanted something more. What if people could come to the library and stay all day? So that evolved into a deli, but then we began tying into the idea of, well, we're also about knowledge and we're about learning, and so what about a food element that incorporates that? And how about a teaching kitchen? So we went up and toured Brightwater and looked at their full culinary institute, and we realized, wow, we could fit in that space in the public way. And so creation of a 16 workstation teaching kitchen was something else we added in. So we were honest to the 5 things we promised in the millage election, but we added the Innovation Center and the Teaching Kitchen. So, one of the ways that we were able to tie the building together was through a grand staircase that will tie level 300 to the new expansion at 200. And that grand staircase sort of functions as the linchpin. It ties the spaces together where people can flow off of Mountain Street through the plaza entry, come in 300, go down the grand staircase and into the new lobby space and into the, all of the expanded new amenities that we put together. So those challenges were there. We've tied the parking deck into all 4 floors of the library with an elevator and a staircase that will allow you to come into the parking deck, climb on an elevator, go to the level 400 up where nonfiction will be, or maybe go down to level 100 to the Innovation Center in the courtyard. So just a real emphasis on, we wanted that feel of this is all one library, this is all one library for this community, and it's all my library. Window views, but you'll be able to descend the grand staircase down into the expansion piece. This is a pretty big room. You could forget this. Here's where people will descend into this area. All those holes you saw us processing will go on this wall back here. Item buying would be through here. We'll have a reception desk on this side. The deli itself will be in this corner. Deli here. You'll come in off this new School Street entry. Come in, grab a bite to eat. This might be your library experience for the day, as I just come to the deli. Grab something to eat, listen to a class. So this is your full multi-purpose room. This is where people could come in and we could have conferences and different things. People could meet and congregate. You've got a Steinway piano. Yes. Steinway will be in there. That's the hallway where you'll be able to bring in your catered food piece. And then this is your multi-purpose room. You can see the pocket for the seating. Photography studio is right here. So if I want to come down and do a family portrait, I can check the space out. We'll have some cameras available for you. Maybe I want this space was designed. This is the teaching kitchen. It looks an awful lot like some of the ones at Brightwater because that was sort of the model that we worked with. You'll come in, you'll have a reception desk area here, some lounging space. We'll probably put one of the simulators, whether it's the car driving one or the plane one or the forklift one. We'll have a simulator here. This space in here will be the other simulators where you can watch people learning how to fly planes or drive backhoes or coming in. Might have beverage tables here. You've got doorway access to whatever's happening out in the courtyard here. And then we got we call it like the VIP reception room. So maybe you do have a group of people that are exclusive. But also this would be just a neat room to have a small meeting in or whatever. So it can be used in a wing sort of feel. Some of the architecture in here, and then this comes into preschool. Corral space for all of the kids' room, and this will be where all their book collection is, all of their fun toy spaces and playing spaces, study spaces. Come up the stairs, make this turn, and then you're in. On this end, you've got a new story time room, and then adjacent to it is you've got the craft room for preschool. Natural lighting. Just making it as engaging as we could. The grade school area has 3 different tutoring, studying rooms, places for parents and others over on the left. You know, one here, you get a really good view of preschool. And get preschool and grade school on the far side, and then the skywalk area. We are right in the middle, and I'm not joking. We're working on negotiating getting a plan. We're over this space, and then we're also going to get a plane that we're cutting in half so the kids can learn kind of how a plane functions and what it looks like. Or you can come down the stairs on that side. How can we create a place for teens where there aren't adults? Well, let's front load the collection here so that if I come for young adult materials, they get it here, but then they come on back to where the teen hangout space is. They've got 2 study rooms, a smaller one, larger one. We'll have restaurant booth seating in these 2 spaces. They'll have a fabulous view of whatever's happening in the courtyard. And in this space, and then this is the teen hangout room, where adults are not allowed. They have their own gaming room. We'll have all the console games and everything. Big giant monitor is there. And then they've got a great view. I mean, they get to New West Avenue. They get a view of the Ife Jones Park. They get a view to the mountains. Teens they got some really cool real estate out of this. They'll overlook the tree preservation area and all of the greens that we're going to be putting in. You get a little sample of the bench rock that we're going to be using for the amphitheater seating.